This is Ashley's Heart Song, the place where you get out of the stress and back into your body, your life, and your business. When we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we master the mind and the stress that steals our life. Welcome to the show today. I have a wonderful, lovely, beautiful guest today. Her name is Ashley Lewis, and I'm going to be introducing her in just a quick minute. But y'all know what we start with. We start with our vitality score. Each week, we want to check in and tap in and see what our vitality is doing this week. Have we allowed life to happen and to pull us off course? Or are we staying centered with each one of those components of who we are? So let's take our physical body on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Physical body, level of energy, level of just feeling good in your body. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you feel awesome in your body. Your body is just so powerful and strong today. You couldn't feel better. A 1 is where no, you don't feel good in your body. You feel like your body is at war against you. Where are you on that scale? Put your number down. Then we have the emotional center of you. Emotionally, where is your vitality today? Do you feel emotionally balanced and well and right? That's a 10. Or do you feel emotionally imbalanced, a little moody, a little edgy? Then you're going to be closer to the 1 to 5 range. So mark your number down. Then we're going to go into mental health of you today. This week, where are you mentally? Are you on point? Do you feel clear? Do you feel inspired in thought? That is a 10. Or if you feel foggy thinking, foggy brained, less than thoughts, negative thinking is coming in, then you want to write down your score for that. That would be closer to a 1 and a 5. Then the final component is the spiritual aspect of you. Spiritually, where are you today? Spiritually, are you in alignment? Did you take time to get connected? That's closer to a 10. Or do you feel misaligned, disconnected, all alone? No faith, no hope. That's a 1. Where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? Put your number down. Add up your vitality score. The high score is a 40. If you are close to that 40 marker, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. If you find that you're far from that 40, then take a look at the area of life in which your number is low and begin working on that space. Don't work on all 4 components at one time. Just work on one at a time to help you elevate your vitality score. All right, y'all. Oh my goodness, I have a fantastic guest with me today. I am so thrilled to have her with me. She was one of our speakers at the International Women's Day event in Flower Mound, Texas in March of 2024. That's this month. And so happy that she was there. She brought a beautiful light to the event. And Ashley is an entrepreneur and a dedicated coach. She's a firm believer in the power of faith. For the past 7 years, Ashley has thrived in the entrepreneurial realm, finding immense joy in seeing others succeed through her coaching. Outside of business, she is a proud cowboy wife, dedicated mama, devoted mama, finding fulfillment in the outdoor lifestyle. Ashley's journey is guided by blind faith as she walks confidently in the path set before her. Welcome, Ashley. Let me bring her on with me. Here we go, and here she is. Hello, Ashley.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yay. Oh, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. And it's good to see everybody's faces.
It is. Isn't that fun? When we have a live audience, it's just so fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so Ashley, let's start out just by you telling us a little bit about you, some little nugget of you that you would love to share with everyone. Let's just start there.
Okay.
Nugget of wisdom, nugget of insight. Anything.
Gosh, that's kind of a hard question. So just a little bit about me. Honestly, I am one of those people that I love unconditionally. Like I want to literally mother everyone. Everyone that's in my circle, I want to bring you in and I want to mother you and I want to make sure that you just see the greatness inside of you. I feel like it was one of God's gifts that he gave me was to see the potential in other people and to see what they're worthy of and see and be able to read their face of if they're struggling or what's going on in their life. And I always want to be that person that asks, hey, are you okay? Right. I always want to be the person that is there for someone in need, that can help them, that can guide them and pick them up on their feet. And that's just something that I've always really strived in and I've loved in every aspect of it. And I think that's a little bit about me. That's was a God-given gift for sure.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love when people recognize the gift that God gave them. That is one thing that we do when we're creating our heart song is we always tune into that gift that was knit together within us in our mama's womb. And that's the way I see your ability to see others' potential and see their needs and how you can help them, aid them, because you've helped quite a few women rise up the way that you did. Would you say that in your business, you've been able to do that?
Yes, yep. And just taking women that honestly, single mamas, ranch wives, people that feel just stuck in their way of life or stuck in that mindset, so to speak, because they're not stuck in that way of life. It's just all they've ever known. And a little bit on my story, and some of you guys have heard it, but the ranch wife in the ranch cowboy wife community, you're usually stuck in living in someone else's home, driving someone else's pickup, and you get a beef every month and they pay for everything else, right? And you live on a very minimal budget, but it's the way of life that people love. And for me, people feel stuck in that route. And just like a single mama or things like that, they feel stuck where they only worth so much, right? To where you can be a ranch wife and be worth so much more, right? You don't have to live that way of life. You can be a single mama and struggling, but you don't have to struggle. There's other ways. It's just going to take someone to come in and see the potential in what you have and say, you're not stuck in this route, right? And bring them up out of that. And that's, I think I kind of got a little off subject there, but I think that's a way of seeing that for sure. So,
Yeah, you didn't get off course at all. That was just perfect, right? Because there's a lot of women here who I think there's a lot of women in the world who feel like, this is where I'm stuck. This is the life that I chose. Therefore, I just need to sit happy inside of it and just
mhm.
know that this is my lot. Whereas that's really not the case, is it, Ashley? It's
No,
not.
no. And I feel like God puts us in situations to not stay. I heard this quote, and this is I don't even know if I'm going to say this right, but when everything is silent, that's when the devil's winning. When everything is kind of stormy and you're feeling a little uncomfortable and things like that, that's when God's speaking because he's pushing you a little further. So when you're comfortable and things are still and silent and it's all good, right? That's when the devil's kind of winning because you're not pushing yourself to walk in God's faith, to walk where God has your purpose, right? Yes, it's nice to have that comfort, but at the end of the day, he has called you for more. And are
Mm.
you finding that? Are you pushing yourself in that? Or are you just settling to where you're at?
That is so huge. That is so huge. I was just having a discussion similar to this with a client today, because when we're in that silent time where, oh, I've achieved this success and this feels so good and I'm just going to enjoy it, we get complacent. And when the head brain gets complacent, what happens? We start hearing things that we shouldn't be hearing. And
Yep.
our brain starts producing verbiage that was from a decade ago that no longer applies, but that's that devil coming in, right? Just
Yep.
comes in and pulls you totally off course. So we have
Hmm.
to be so intentional with our thought through our successes, through our storms. So intentional. So would you say that in your personal experience, um, were you weathering a storm, so to speak, when you decided, okay, I married a cowboy. I love this, but I know there's so much more for me. Would you say that during that time frame that was a storm moment for you?
Yes, it was a big storm moment, to be real honest, because I went from growing up, going playing ball to a full ride scholarship to being very successful in my life. And I was very driven to be successful. I thought a full ride, a degree later, you get out and you get a good corporate job and like you're successful that way, right? And I took pride in what I had created. I took pride in the job I had. And all I've ever heard was that was success. And so making that switch to go and give that up and go live as a cowboy's wife, minimum wage, living in a shack, doing all these things. Yes, I had the biggest battle with pride in myself, to be real honest, of embarrassment. And not embarrassment's a bad word because it's not embarrassing to have that lifestyle. It's a blessing to have that lifestyle. But it was something inside me that I felt that I was worth more than that. I wanted more for not only me, but my family, my kids, my husband, right? And so that was the battle between myself and that choice to take that. I had to give up a little bit of pride, right? I had to give up a little bit of what I thought was success. And that was a hard storm for me to battle because I was fighting myself the whole entire way of just go back to what you know, that's what success. Instead, I had to pave my own way through the muck and the mud and the shacks and all that, right? To find what true success was, or what a certain point of success is, because there's always a higher level, right? But and be okay with that and let go of that pride of what I thought was success. If that makes sense.
It does. It was a war with the ego mind, right?
Yes.
Ego felt like this is success over here and you're not living it. And
Hmm.
that's just the ego mind misleading you.
Yep.
Whereas you found your way through that storm by creating that success for yourself, finding out what success meant for you, maybe.
Yep. Exactly. And I think through that, and as I'm a big visionary person, and as we're sitting here talking about this, I'm seeing like I don't know if you guys ever been on a ranch, but there's like a cattle trail, and the cattle have walked that trail so many times that it's just packed down and it's really deep. And I just see myself walking that cattle trail, but I feel like that path built every vertebrae on my spine because it built me into the person I am today to be able to stand up strong and on my own 2 feet because it was my own success story, right? Wasn't a success that a corporate America gave me, right? It was success that I made on my own back. And I'm a big vision person. I know that sounds pretty weird, but that's just what I see as you're walking your path and you're going a route that's uncomfortable for you. Every step that you take is a building block to building not only success for you, but who you are as a person. It's making you stronger each day. And that's kind of what I see.
I love that vision. Yeah. Yeah, that made a lot of sense to me. I could see that. Yeah, and I love the way that you said that, that your pathway and what you're doing over and over, creating that rut, is building the strength of you to stand even firmer. Wow, I like that. Thank
Thanks.
you, Ashley. Yes, yes, yes. So you speak to faith, that faith was a huge part of your journey in creating that success. Would you just describe that, what that looked like for you?
Um, yeah, for me, and I can just speak on my recent my recent move that I've made because I feel like every big move in life that I've made, I've had to pray to God to open my eyes and my heart where I need to go, what I needed to do, what his purpose and his path for me was, because we go back and forth in our own head, right? And we get bad thoughts and those take us down a train. And I wanted to make sure that I was making the right choices in life. And um, that's where I really rely on my faith to guide me on where I need to go. And just the recent one, if I don't know if anybody knows, but I've made a switch to partner with a new company called Manatech, which you guys probably know what that is. And I was with a company before this and it was home for me. And this was a life-changing decision that I had to make. And it was a decision that was not easy for me at all. And I remember my husband and I have been talking about it for months, whether we go, whether we stay, what we needed to do. And we went to church on Sunday and I prayed to God, like, please, dear Lord. And I had to make a decision by Tuesday. And I prayed to him and I said, God, open my eyes and my heart and give it to me loud and clear, because I need to know what path you're leading me on, why this was placed in my lap, why I need to move. What are you trying to tell me here? And I think the biggest part of having faith is opening your eyes and your heart to hear the little God winks that he's going to give you. And that's something that I call them God winks, but that's something that you got to be able to listen for, right? And so we go into church Sunday and we're sitting down, and our preacher starts talking about hard decisions. He starts talking about comfort zones, and he starts talking about the Israelites wandering the desert for 40 years and 40 nights, and how they walked in blind faith. They left the comfort of their home, food, water, all the things, and wandered the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And God said, hey, trust in me and I'll provide. And he provides quail in their camp one night, and he provides a white powder on the ground each and every morning. And they called that manna the food of God. And right then and there, both my husband and I got chills on our arms. And I looked at him and he looked at me in the pew, and we both had tears in our eyes, because right then and there I knew God told me, let's walk, Ash. And so we walked out of the church, and my husband goes, we're going, aren't we? I said, I can't not. So we moved, right? And there's not a doubt in my mind that that sermon that day was meant for me, and was meant to tell me loud and clear that that's where I needed to move. And when I was looking at this company, one of the biggest things that stood out for me was Manna Tech, and it was specifically named with that scripture in mind. And so it was just how everything added up, and being able to walk in that blind faith and not know if this is right or not, right? But I know that he's not going to call me a place to fail, right? He's going to maybe weather another cattle path for me, but we'll make it through one step at a time. So I hope that was kind of on the subject.
That was beautiful. I had not heard your story
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what made me say, okay, here we go.
Don't you love that? Those nudges that we get in the sermons. Yes,
Yep.
my girlfriend and I, she's sometimes here at the show, but well, you know her, Tanya.
Yeah.
There are times when we're sitting in church listening to the sermon, we're looking at each other going, "Oh my gosh!" Because for each of us, there was this message of where we're going next,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just
Yep.
so beautiful the way that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that those of you in the audience that hear those sermons that just like, okay, that was directly for me, that message, or maybe sometimes we're talking to somebody and just
Mm-hmm.
in conversation, and you know that was a divinely guided conversation that I needed to hear.
Yep.
Those are those
Yep.
little God winks you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You nailed it.
So beautiful. Love that. So what is your big plan now? So you are walking in faith
Mm-hmm.
in this new company, and there are things to get ironed out, things to happen. But what is your big picture plan? I know we don't share our highest vision right out
Mm-hmm.
loud. We don't do that, but can you give us an idea of what it is you're wanting? What is it you would love in your life to happen?
Um, so I'll give you my vision that I have,
Okay.
that is just, and I've gotten this since day one of making the move, and it's a mountain. There's a mountain, and then there's a sunset, the sun setting, and it's big, bright orange. And I see me in the middle and a line of women with me, locked arms. And every step we take, we're making it to the top. And at the top, there's a silhouette of us up top, and we've made it to the top, right? Of the company is what I'm seeing. And God's sitting there and he said, you walked the path, right? You walked in blind faith. But for me, the end goal is not for me to make it to the top, right? The end goal is not for me to be the most successful in this business or the most successful in Manatech. The goal for me is everyone that's locked arms with me, That's what brings me joy. That's what brings me pride. And if I can walk that mountain or those cattle paths up that mountain and have hundreds and thousands of women with me, and not only every step we take changing their life financially, spiritually, in every aspect of their life, but changing the little kids' lives looking at them. That's what pulls at my heart. And that's what I see the ability that this company and this partnership with Manatech has given me, and why I've seen God pull me here. Because I'll be honest, I had never talked as much about God than I did when I joined this company. And I feel like he has gathered a group of God-fearing women that are locked arms and they're ready to roll, right? Because one, they believe in the products and they're life-changing products. But two, the community that this company and what we've created here is absolutely phenomenal. And that's what I see. And I know I'm getting off topic, but that's what I see and what my purpose here is.
Yeah, well, and it was really beautiful because when you were describing your vision, and it was you and the women locked arms, rising to the top of the mountain together, I was thinking, yeah, together we do thrive.
Mm-hmm.
To-
Yep.
We are helping one another. There's an exchange, there's an energetic exchange, there's a physical exchange, emotional exchange, spiritual exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Then we are feeding and fueling and nurturing each other to all rise together.
Yep.
And what a beautiful vision, and one that is inspiring. I can feel the inspiration inside of that, that probably is what gets you going every single morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it does. It does for sure. One step at a time.
One step at a time. Okay, so you spoke about, I was watching your reels. You do really cute reels, by the way.
Thanks.
And one of the reels was about a miracle juice, and you
Mhm.
said, I dropped a pant size or whatever. And so I was real curious, and I was wondering, what else did you do other than that? Because I am a coach in that area. And so I'm
Mhm.
curious. But why don't you just tell? I think it's important for people because every person, not every person, but a lot of my audience members, not only live, but people who listen, are in the direct selling industry, network marketing industry. And I think
Mhm.
it's fun and probably very helpful for them to hear how you created, more or less this miracle juice identity, right?
Mhm.
In order to help bring people into your group. And so those of you who are in network marketing or direct selling, listen to what she has done, because it truly is eye-catching and ear-catching to bring people in asking questions. So Ashley, I hope I didn't give away too much, but yeah,
No, yeah,
it
you're
was really
good.
cute.
You're good. So it's so funny because we both love Manatech products, right? And so Ashley's like, "What other products are you taking? Like, what is your miracle juice, right?" And I was like, "Yes, that's exactly what I want." She's like, "What do you mean?" Because the thing is, it's just Manatech products that I'm taking. But the purpose that I call it miracle juice is because 99.9% of people, if you put the name of the product, if you put the name of the company, if you put your cookies out there, they're going to go to Google. Honestly, what's the first thing you do? If you see something that you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go ask that person. I'm going to go Google it and see what I can find out myself first," right? So the beauty behind Miracle Juice, it's simply my Amber Toast Life, my superfoods, and my GI Defense, right? But I've named it a catchy tagline because I do think it's a miracle, right? I do think it tastes like juice. It's super good. Is I just tag it miracle juice. Nobody can go Google miracle juice and find what my miracle juice is. I'm the Google. They got to come to me and ask me, "Hey, what's your miracle juice?" Just like Ashley did, and she's in the same company, right? So you have to come to me, and then that gives me the opportunity to educate you, to tell you what it's going to do for you, to really learn what you're having troubles with. That way I can tell you how this is going to fix it. So that's where you get that one-on-one connection. You really can love on those people, and they're not going to Google. You're the Google.
That is just so brilliant. So brilliant. I love
Thanks.
it. Yeah. So Amber Toast Life plus the super greens and reds, superfoods greens and reds,
Mm-hmm.
and then the capsule of the GI Defense.
Yep.
And did you do that GI Defense the way it says on the bottle? I think
Yes.
A day? Mhm.
Twice a day.
How many juices did you do a day?
I'm just doing one. You can do it morning and night though. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you always have to have the pre and probiotic. I take that as well. So
Yes.
that's super good too. But
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Yeah, that is great. And you lost a pant size, not
Yeah.
any food at all.
Nope. No, I just drink more water, to be real honest. More water. I
Oh,
eat pretty good as is. So I
mhm.
mean that's probably why it wasn't a huge change for me on the diet side, but um I just drank more water and drank the miracle juice, and it helped with so much inflammation and the bloating, and definitely in that midsections that made it drop. So
Right? Isn't that the truth?
mhm.
Yeah, when we are missing a key component of nourishment, which many people like you, Ashley, are eating very well, but they just don't feel quite well in their gut, in
Yep,
their tummy. They feel bloated or whatever. And so when we give our body those nutrients that needs specifically, then our body can release and let go of what is no longer needed.
yep,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
beautiful. Yeah, how fun, how fun. Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was just brilliant. So I just wanted to give that key information to people out there that are in
Yeah.
it for yourself. You're an entrepreneur, you're building your team. Well, how can you make your message special, like Ashley did?
Mhm.
You know, how can you to really catch people's attention? So go check out her reel. It's on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all over. So
Over. Yeah, and it's Ashley Lewis.
Ashley Page Lewis on Instagram, but yes, Ashley Lewis.
Ashley Page, Page, isn't it?
Paige.
IGE. Okay.
Yep.
Ashley Page Lewis on Instagram, and yeah, check that out. That's so fun.
Yes.
Oh, well, what else is there that you would love to leave our audience today? Anything, any words of wisdom for them to take with them before we open it up?
I just think, guys, the thing is, you have to figure out your own path. You have to be able to walk your own path. You have to be able to push yourself outside of your comfort zone to really find the purpose in where you're walking and why you're walking that path. And I think the only way that you're going to do that is if you get a little bit outside of that comfort, right? And you open your mind and your ears to God's God winks. And because he may be telling you, "Hey, go talk to Sally today." And you're like, "Okay, I'll reach out to her Monday." You're not being obedient in his winks, right? Sally may have needed to hear that word that day. So when you hear those God winks, don't wait. Go after him right then and there. And I just think that that's something that I've worked on in the last 2 years, and it really does help because I get somebody's name in my head. I'm like, all right, I'm texting them now. Here we go. So just go after it.
Wow. Oh, that's good. Good wisdom. Loved in with that. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Ashley's Heart Song. And Ashley, thank you for being my guest today.
Of course. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. So I appreciate you asking me.
Yes. Join us each Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time for the Ashley's Heart Song. And join us next week as we continue to armor up our lives. See you next time.